Mr. President. It's a pleasure to see you preside over the Council. I extend my gratitude to Sierra Leone for convening this important and timely discussion. We extend a warm welcome to His Excellency Professor David Francis, Foreign Minister of Sierra Leone, for chairing this debate. We also thank the Assistant Secretary General for Peace-Building Support, the Commissioner for Political and Peace and Security, and other speakers for their insightful interventions. Mr. President, it is said that all politics is local. So is building and sustaining peace and security. We value the concept of nationally led violence prevention strategies outlined in the Secretary General's new agenda for peace. The success stories of peace building and conflict prevention, for example in Sierra Leone, owed much to an enlightened approach to building trust and inclusion at the community and national level. In Pakistan's experience too, fighting terrorism on our border regions was successful due to the support, assistance and participation of local communities. Pakistan's updated National Action Plan to combat terrorism, which we call the Azam-e-Istiqam or Resolve, relies on working with local communities to exclude and eliminate violence and violent extremism and terrorism. The provision of security and basic needs and services is essential to build social cohesion, trust, and success against the forces of violence, crime, and terrorism. However, Mr. President, such national strategies for conflict prevention are necessary but not sufficient to address the complex crises which we face in Africa and elsewhere. The proliferation of most of these conflicts has been caused by both endogenous and exogenous factors that must be understood and addressed. The root causes of these conflicts range from the legacies of colonialism, internal struggles for scarce food, water, and pastures, external competition for precious national resources, efforts at regional or global hegemony, and interventions designed to suppress the struggle of peoples to reclaim their own political and economic destinies. The consequences of foreign occupation are nowhere as clear as in occupied Jammu and Kashmir and in Palestine. It is the clear responsibility of the Security Council to end Israel's genocidal war in Gaza. Mr. President, national strategies for conflict prevention can be successful, but only if these are accompanied by other regional and international measures to address some of the main causes of conflicts: poverty, unemployment, injustice, exploitation of national resources, external intervention. Unfortunately, international strategies to address these root causes of terrorism, violent extremism, and criminal activity have been either absent, inadequate, or proved counterproductive. For instance, the countries of the Sahel and other conflict zones require massive economic and financial support to overcome poverty and destitution, which is a cause of conflict. Yet, despite promises, international solidarity has been in short supply. This was vividly illustrated during the COVID pandemic. Most of the countries in conflict zones are also in dire debt distress. Yet, only 4 have succeeded in securing partial and not so very generous restructuring of their debts. On the contrary, when conflicts have erupted, the response has often been to impose sanctions, which mostly punish the poor and exacerbate the drivers of conflict. Or the response is to resort to some form of intervention, which is mostly counterproductive. Mr. President, what is required is a comprehensive and integrated strategy which offers regional and international support to national efforts for conflict prevention and dispute resolution. Such a strategy must include economic and financial support to the states in distress, to create employment and generate trust and hope, capacity building to enable governments to provide the basic services needed by local populations, an end to external exploitation, which fuels violence and terrorism, good faith efforts at resolution of conflicts at the local and regional levels, regional and international support for security and counterterrorism operations, and a review of ill-considered sanctions that mostly punish common people. Mr. President, we trust that this timely debate in the Council will inspire new thinking to build effective approaches to preventing conflicts, resolving disputes, and building peace in the numerous countries that are in conflict today. I thank you, Mr. President.